Hi, my name is Brooke Downs. Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, episode 4. We are the Learning Alliance Corporation here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Each one of these episodes will feature one of our phenomenal instructors from the telecommunications industry. This week, will be our fiber master, our god of glass, Mr. Tate Hurst.
Hello, my name is Tate Hurst.
Been here for
3 years.
3 years.
Teaching fiber for 3 years. Been working around fiber about 4.5 years. Was an OSP tech at KGP Co., now a Cersei company, and then I was a cable installer at Amphenol Custom Cable down here in Tampa, Florida. Mainly doing ISP build-outs. Built a dig, about 400 cubicle rooms to go down off I-4 between here and Orlando, and then just done various underground horizontal drilling sites and OSP fiber for KGP and Verizon down here in Tampa, Orlando area as well.
Okay. So you took the class?
Yeah, I took the class when it was just a tower program about 3.5 years ago. We had a class of about 96. Brooke was one of my instructors, along with one of my guys, Donnie, now. Big class. No fiber was really a thing for us being educated on. We had a contractor named Dave Noble come in and show us a couple splices and then tensile strength of fiber, and that really caught my eye, caught an interest in it, went down YouTube University, and then took a job after the tower program doing fiber, which I excelled in and very much enjoy.
It's a lot of fun because when it comes down to it, I think most of our guys are base, or their knowledge base and their structural base came from tower.
Yes, most.
And everyone kind of branched off. So it's kind of fun to watch you guys teach all the different programs. When we had them, when it worked out, I'm like, hey, you guys can do this. It's a lot of fun. Now we're doing the fiber and we do the wireless or the structured cabling, all those things. But it kind of always starts with the base of the tower. And it's a good time for that. So it's pretty neat. But I keep asking you, and again, you're the lead for a reason, all the fun fiber things. Most recent one, and then we've been on it for like 2 weeks now, was the fiber blower.
Oh yeah, Brooke finally found out what fiber jetting is, and to break it down 5th grade level, everybody played with those Hot Wheels tracks where you got the little spinning foam wheels and it jets that Hot Wheels car. That's what jetting fiber is. It is just a machine that rolls our fiber into conduit or anything that we're installing into, and Brooke loves it. Powered by air compressors. I got one behind me, definitely not powerful enough to run a fiber blower jetter. But then we do have the microducts as well that we can jet fiber into, which are pretty cool to me because those are just tiny microducts that have rifling webbed in them. So when we blow air, it's just like a rifle barrel, and we can send that from point A to point B, almost the speed of light. Not really, but you get it.
So
fiber joke.
That's one of my favorite fiber things, but I think my all-time favorite fiber thing, because I remember running in here once because we always discussed the fiber in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
The deep dive of the fiber and how you splice that and how you fix that in the boat they use, which is
so we have probably about 750,000 kilometers of undersea cables, internet under the ocean, across the world. One of the longest being from Virginia Beach to a place in Spain or southern France, but that thing is about that big around, and then it's got various layers of protective over it, such as steel cables, and then PVC on top of that with copper conductors, obviously running power to every about 6 to 8 kilometers, a powered substation about the size of this desk behind me, repeating our optical signal. But what's cool about that is that runs the whole length of the Atlantic, which as a sailor in my prior life, that is a very hard ocean to cross, especially if you want to sleep soundly. Buckle in. So those guys that installed that across the Atlantic have a pretty strenuous job, and I know that line being dedicated under the Atlantic was a task in and of itself to put in the ground. But then on top of that, we have some more newer, modern fiber cables, such as To Africa, which is a continuous, not one piece fiber line all the way around the continent of Africa, which should be done in our current year or within the next 5 years should be done. And then there's another one called Apricot that is in the Philippines, and that's bankrolled by Google and Facebook, and that's going to connect, I believe, Philippines, Thailand, Australia, and a couple other island nations to high-speed internet for the first time in a long time. So that'll be cool to watch roll out in our lifetime, and then just get globally connected through fiber, which is obviously speed of light.
I think one of my first intros to fiber, was my buddy in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't really know what the fiber optics to the home were and all those kind of things. And I always remember we were playing Call of Duty, and his game was messing up because, hey man, I'm just going to uninstall and re-download. To me, my sweet little
to me,
signal.
Call of Duty at 135 gigs
I'm sitting there
for multiplayer.
I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do that, and we'll go from there. He goes, dude, I'll be back like
20 minutes.
Not even 20 minutes. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. I'm like, sitting there, cool, man. I got into Warzone. And get beat up because I'm not very good at it, but I'm going. He goes, all right, man, I'm ready. Hop out. Hop back in. I was like, what do you mean? Spend 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, he has like a gig of download speed,
mm-hmm.
which is just quite nuts.
I've got 2 gigs upload download speed at my house right now, and I have a dedicated line hooked into my Xbox and my PC from our fiber. So my fiber directly goes into my ONT at the house, which is inside, and then I have a direct Cat 6 line going from my modem into mine. So I'm the shortest takeaway from fiber to my internet at home, which is pretty tough. My roommate is jealous because his Xbox is in the same room as everything, and I'm running 4 times the speed as he is.
It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun gaming that way, though, just because.
Yeah, it's good. I still get absolutely wrecked by 12-year-olds in almost any game.
We're adults with jobs.
Yeah, I have a job. I pay bills, children.
You got a quick cue to the Navy part of things.
Mm-hmm.
How fun was that?
Navy was fun. Miss the people, miss traveling. Don't miss Big Navy a whole lot, but that was part of my life.
You did the ship stuff for a while, on the ships, out and about, doing all that kind of fun stuff?
Yeah, I was stationed on the USS Harry S. Truman, which is CVN-75, one of our 12 aircraft carriers that's actively commissioned right now. I'm sure you all have seen it in the recent news. Their last deployment, they got into some hairy stuff. But yeah,
hairy stuff.
Harry Truman and hairy stuff. Yeah, that was a good time. I spent 7 years of my life in the Navy, 5 active duty on that Truman. I was an aviation ordnanceman, so assembled ordnance, which is mainly just aircraft bombs, rockets, missiles, anything that goes pew-pew and that goes on a plane I touched or loaded or built at some point in my life. After that, transitioned out, went into the reserves as an engineman. Didn't really get hands-on with outboard motors or anything like that. Just did my weekend warrior duties. And then transitioned out of that after about 2 years. I'm originally from Kentucky, which is where I spent most of my reserve time. And then after I got off active duty, I ended up enrolling myself in Eastern Kentucky University for a Homeland Security and Wildlife Management program, which pursued them. Didn't really enjoy all that much. I've realized that Homeland Security might not be a department of the United States government for the next 50 years, or no park services were hiring park rangers during COVID. So I packed up and hauled my butt down here to Florida, and then that is history ever since then.
So you were local when you took the class?
Local. I caught the call off Indeed in Kentucky and then packed all of my things into my truck at the time and moved down here with a buddy I was in the Navy with. And then I've just been down here ever since, rooming up, living my life.
It's really kind of cool, fun thing. We talked about some people, how the hiring process worked and how you end up here. And it was really funny because I was with another instructor at the time. Obviously, I wasn't in charge or anything like that, but we were at Pups Pub.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of cool.
Lo and behold, I came to LAC's good graces by persistently texting a former instructor named BJ. Hey, man, I'd like to come teach. Yeah, send our director of education, Derek, your resume. Sent Derek my resume. Randomly was in my apartment one day. Was like, I'm going to go get a drink. I don't have a dog, but I'm going to go to this Pups Pub down here.
You get to play with dogs
and see some dogs. Walked in there, ordered a shot and a beer, and looked to my right, and I saw Brooke and that instructor BJ that I had known. And then I just hung out with them the rest of the night, smelling like dog pee in the bar. Brooke got bit playing beer pong.
Yep.
Good time. Yep. But after that, I was working at Amphin Hall, kind of just past LAC on a drive home one day. Walked in, Derek surprisingly walked straight up to the front desk while I was in here and was like, "Hey, nice shirt. Amphenol Custom Cable, huh?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Do I know you?" "Yeah, I've sent you my resume a few times." So Derek walked me around, pretty much not really the textbook interview that anybody's used to, but we walked around. He made me build out a cell side, a small cell network in my head, or just out with my pencil and paper in the air. And then he said, "That's it. You can come work here." So I co-ran the wireless fiber program with Grant Gordon and Mike Prown up until about 6 months into that. And then the fiber program split from that, and Skylar and I took over fiber, and it's been running smooth ever since. We got adopted by FBA, Fiber Broadband Association, about December of, what was it, 22?
I think it was 22.
22, yeah. And been teaching the FBA program, Viavi, testing and certification, PLP ever since then. Not turning back. Give us sponsors. Give me fiber.
A lot of stuff. I'm sure they're going to watch it. It should be kind of fun. We're going to send it to them. There's fun little slides coming through.
Who, Viavi? And
I'm hoping so.
if we send it to my buddy Josh, he'll do it.
It'd be a great time. We can always do that. That's the media department. We'll get on that. So, good job. You're running the program phenomenally.
Thank you.
We're always excited to grow and move forward. The hiring process has always been kind of funny here, because it's the same kind of thing. I got interviewed by Derek. Everybody else going to have subsequently until like the last 2 years I've been doing it. And then some people go, you don't interview people that well. They're like, what do you mean? I can read people well enough, right? So it's a walk around. It's kind of cool how they gauge seeing the things. Hey, teach me this. It's a pretty informal thing.
Yeah, very informal. And it's also a trade school. So I'm not asking for the suit and tie everyday college grad to come in here and be like, I think I can make this a Fortune 500 company within 6 months. We don't need that. We need tradesmen who are blue-collar boys who have worked and gotten their hands dirty and want to come out here and pass their knowledge down to guys who are just trying to get into this, or guys who are looking for something new, especially those transitioning out of the military freshly, which is a majority of our students. I'd say 80% of our students have transitioned out of the military within 365 days of coming in.
Yeah, usually. And it's kind of cool thing. We talked about a last podcast about that, like the transition period from getting out to doing something.
Yeah, and a majority of guys, gals as well, don't use any of their GI benefits. I know guys that have gone straight from TAPS, getting out of the military, to straight 9 to 5, minimum wage jobs, and not cutting it. They've got 4 or 5 kids, 2 or 3 kids, and they're just not happy. I couldn't tell you how many people I've had hit me up out of the Navy and been like, did you ever think about going back in? Or what are you doing now? You look really well off in your position now. What are you doing? I'd like to come to that school. I had a couple buddies from my ship, from my division on the Truman, come through this program, and now they're Prism Maritime employees working on seaboard fiber or doing underground plows in Idaho, all over the U.S. And there's endless opportunities with this too. Within my first 6 months of working here, I caught a LinkedIn message asking me to come be a foreman for a fiber build out on a network in Suda Bay, Greece, which is a naval base that I ported at probably 3 or 4 times in the Navy, but I had never even thought that I would end up back on Suda Bay, Greece. Couldn't end up taking the position because passport issues, but that was a good look at a great job. And then my peers here at LAC, Brooke and Derek both said, you can take this job, we'll leave your position here so you can go get that experience overseas and then come back and transition that to our programs here, which with our new Collab First build out and all these former students becoming technicians, green technicians, and then going out into the field with OJT, that's going to open up a lot of those opportunities. When I had that conversation with Cesar and Joe in Columbus, they were adamant about getting jobs out the window or networking skills they had in Brazil or the Cayman Islands or St. Thomas, and being like, we could get jobs out there and we could send them small for, yeah, that would be really cool if we could get it out there, but we got to have the means to do so. Everybody's got to have a passport. Everybody's got to do all this stuff.
And maybe get some of these contracts like overseas or going far. It's something that a lot of people can't experience.
Yeah, not at all.
So I can take the stuff I've learned here or what we've taught you, and you can get to go and kind of see the world doing something that's a good time, especially in countries like that, because you kind of get to make the infrastructure. You kind of get to set it up.
Yeah, you do, and you know exactly how it works. You can tell your kids 20 years from now, look, I built that little concrete pad right there on that street corner, which is what I do. I don't have kids, but
It's kind of the same thing. We'll go for that. Like, hey, I built that tower.
exactly.
It was over there.
No, I climbed that tower 4 years ago. That's cool.
Not a cool thing. Same thing like your dad does houses or carpentry. Hey, I built that house.
Yep, every time.
Signpost.
Hey, I did the whole floor in that senator's house right there. Cool, Dad. Proud of you.
Cool, Dad. Thanks. Bye. So we talked about where you came from. What do you do outside of work? What's your favorite thing to go do outside of work?
I'm an avid golfer. I am a member of Veterans Golfers Association, so I'll play in, every now and then tournaments down here in Florida. They are the south region of the VGA, which is cool. I mainly just do tournaments with them, or then I'm an avid weekend golfer with my friends. Number 2 in my friend group, number 1 in their hearts. Recently, my girlfriend and I have gotten into paddleboarding, and as I said, I went to Eastern Kentucky for like wildlife management and all things outside. So going to all the different Florida springs and seeing all the wildlife down here is pretty cool. We went last weekend, and I was looking at all the fish in the spring, talking about tilapia and all these other stuff, bowfin and snakehead and stuff like that. And then she was like, I don't think these are tilapia fish. So I asked a tour guide as he passed us on his paddleboard, hey man, what are these big fish? Yeah, man, they're tilapia. About 80% of the spring's wildlife comes from tilapia. So, Sarah, write that down. But then last week she got me a book, so I've just been studying all of our Florida Springs wildlife, banana spiders, crustaceans, stuff like that. That's what I nerd out on. Other than that, horses. I'm from Kentucky. My family grew up very, very much in the horse industry. My grandfather, my uncle were both horse trainers. Grew up on a horse farm down in Lexington, Kentucky. Got to go to a lot of horse races, been to a few derbies, seen a lot of winning horses, which is very, very cool to see happen, but also winning money on horses is really cool. So I'll take that for granted, as long as I can guess them correctly.
That's fair.
But golf is that main number 1. There's not a whole lot of horse tracks down here in Tampa. We got Tampa Bay Downs, and you guys know Tampa does not go below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So I feel bad for those horses, and I feel bad for those spectators going out there all dressed up on Derby Day, which I have seen firsthand in hats and dresses and full suits, and then leaving that track drenched in sweat. It's Florida. Dress nicely for Florida, not like you're in Kentucky.
So you've seen a lot of Florida, which has been kind of great. You've actually taken it in, seen the touristy stuff, and gone out and done the fun things instead of just kind of like hanging out in the AC in your house.
Yeah, well, now after work, I definitely am guilty of going home and hanging out in my house and not speaking until somebody walks in the front door that's not my dog or my cat.
Love a dog. I love a dog.
My dog is awesome. Her name is Nala. I did just adopt a cat. Not even adopt. I rescued a cat out back of our campus.
You got that cat to come to you.
We had a gray tabby cat out back of the school hiding under a van. And I was like, I'm going to lure this kitten to me. Went out there, threw him my hat a couple of days in a row so he could get used to my smell. He ended up coming to me. I boxed him up, brought him home. His name is Fiber TIE Fighter. That is the coolest cat name you'll ever hear. My girlfriend's cat name is DeMarcus X-Wing. And then we're thinking about getting a new one named Meredith, and we're going to name her Meredith Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Pretty slick name. Not a cat person either, but now I am.
Kind of have to be now.
Yeah.
Rescuing kids from out back and whatnot.
Kittens, not kids.
Kittens.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. No, we all the golf thing's always big for us. If you're not going to bond over golf, which is one of the funnest things we've done together was the Seattle trip.
Yes, the Seattle trip where I
home Gig Harbor trip. We went to Washington.
Work trip. Bring your golf clubs. If it's paid for by work, bring your golf clubs. It helps.
Played some beautiful courses out there. That was really fun. You can see how bad I am at golf. And for some reason, every time I hit the ball straight and beautiful, we lose it.
We lose it. It's gone. That's the epitome of golf. I've hit probably 200 plus yard drive one time over a blind hill. And when I came up over in my golf cart on this blind hill, there was just hundreds of white cap mushrooms. And my ball was nowhere to be found in this field of mushrooms. And I had never been so upset at a golf course in my life. But it happens. We took the drop, no penalty, of course, and then finished up. that day.
So the funniest thing, I hit the house first.
You hit the house first.
Yep.
I hit onto the highway first in Washington.
Yep. That was the par 3 course, the walking course, where you got over the wall on the highway was impressive. But we also took a couple mulligans on that.
Yeah, breakfast balls do not count when you're traveling out of state. They don't count towards the handicap.
So that was a good time, and that was one of my first experiences getting to teach. I'll go with a fiber boot
With
camp.
fiber, yeah. Fiber boot camps is especially a fun class to teach because you either have the experienced techs out there or these brand new guys who have no idea what they're looking at. And then that's my fun 50-50 to go teach those experienced classes, because in my last Oklahoma class, I had a guy, we don't even bring inspection scopes out in the field. We don't inspect connectors. I just clean them and wipe them off, and then we're good to go. Okay, you don't inspect connectors. Let me see your OTDR port. Inspect his OTDR port. Everything that guy's done in the last 2 years is wrong because permanent damage and just damage to that connector in face on the inside of the OTDR. And we have personally here at LAC had to have one of those replaced on the OTDR, and that is a hefty bill to pay just for maintenance. So highly suggest, if you guys are watching this and you're a fiber technician, clean your OTDR port, inspect your OTDR port, and inspect before you connect, thanks to the Obby. Boom.
But that's great. We did good. We met a lot about Tate. And I think that was a good thing. That made everybody know you a little better. So when the students do come, they know about you. They know who you are. They know what you've done.
Yeah, for sure. And I have various videos that Andrew's recorded of me doing training videos, such as splicing or connector types, connector cleaning, OTDRs, inspection, all that stuff. Andrew's got those posted somewhere. I know some are on LinkedIn, some are on Twitter, some are on Instagram maybe, or his TikTok account that he's profiting off me for. But have a look. If y'all end up coming to LAC, come knock on my door, come say hey. I'm always here. Good to see you. Good to have you.
So we met Tate Hurst. That completes episode 4 of the Wired for Success podcast. Join us next week for another fun instructor. Stay 100.